Hello everybody, thanks for the support with all my videos. The Irish political establishment are really taking the people of Ireland for complete and utter fools. We've had the Dow bike scandal. Well over €336,000 was spent on the bike shed, most expensive bike shed in the world. Then we had the Security Hut scandal, €1.4 million spent on the most expensive security hut in the world. We've had the Phoenix Park gates being repaired at the cost of up to €800,000. We've also seen the most expensive children's hospital in the world at €2.4 billion and rising. And now the latest we've seen are the modular housing for the Ukrainians. This is absolutely outrageous. When this was first mooted back in 2022, it was proposed that figures of 500 units would be built at the cost of €200,000 each, which would come to €100 million. But lo and behold, less than 1,000 days later, the price has exponentially increased to extortionate levels. The cost is now €436,000 per unit, up 120% from 2022. Absolutely astronomical and absolutely insane. It just shows you that once it's public money, they don't give a damn. They can act without impunity, act without any accountability or even responsibility of getting value for money out of the public purse. This is all through the Office of Public Works, and they'll claim that it's the civil servants, which of course it is a lot of the high-ranking civil servants who act with impunity. But again, it's the ethos and it's the modus operandi of this government that's been in power for well over 14 years at this stage. It's just madness. Now it is interesting because they've analysed this, and Office of Public Works said a lot of these sites were unsuitable. This is what caused so many delays. And delays were obviously down to other issues as well. But you'd imagine when they're looking at these sites, they would know what's suitable for building on. But that's very important to know because they've said they're not suitable. And it's interesting because a lot of these sites that were suitable, why weren't they ever used for public housing for people who were suffering on the housing list for years and years? They were never used. The affordable housing was never used, the modular housing was never used as a solution to the housing crisis. For instance, people who are facing homelessness, and so many people who have been homeless for years and years. This was never a solution. But of course, the Irish politicians are always the best boys and girls for their masters in Brussels, because when they tell them to jump, they tell them how high, and they keep going higher because they don't care, because it's public money that they use and throw down the swanny to profit their friends in the big developers like Sisk, who are going to make huge money from this. And it is very important as well from this, as I said, the cost of other modular houses. If you would look on Dundee, for instance, you could find a modular house for about €32,000. If you get the builder on board and a fit out, that would come in at well less than €100,000. But yet, lo and behold, public money, throw it down towards Sisk at €436,000 a pop. Absolutely astronomical prices, just lunacy. But in Ireland, it's been going on for so long. We've been treated like absolute fools for years by the political establishment, and people just have this attitude that something to see here, let's move on, let's forget about this scandal and make a laugh at a joke of it. But it shows you how deeply rotten the culture is in Ireland. There's no proper oversight or scrutiny of public money in terms of what's the roles of public finances. We've seen that for years in Ireland. We saw it with the FAI scandal, we saw it with the RTE perpetual scandal going on, where public money is just thrown around like confetti, where ordinary people are the ones that are struggling. But we have a huge homeless crisis, we have people dying on the streets, people now afraid to put on their heating because they can't afford it, and not to mention so many people who are waiting for hospital appointments and treatment as well. This is the Ireland we live in, an Ireland for the rich, an Ireland for the wealthy, an Ireland that the political establishment represent, and they represent this queuehorism that's gone on for too long. It's about time people wake up to it and don't accept it, because we should accept proper standards of use of our public money, and a proper use of our public money should be properly audited, and it should be properly taken account of in terms of what's being spent and who profits from this as well. So it is very important that we just have had enough of 100 years of Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, queuehorism, Galway tent, corruption, Ray Burke, Pádraig Flynn, all these people for years and years, Bertie Ahern. Now we've the same going on with Fine Gael, as much the same as what was going on for years with Fianna Fáil. It's just absolutely corrupt to the core, and it's the culture is rotten to the core in Irish life, because it's just the systems at play. It's just wrong. It needs to change, and ordinary people need to use their voices to speak out about this absolute lunacy. And to tie into that, the OPW last week were looking for a public contract for €600,000 to help with their public relations. Maybe they wouldn't need a public relations spin doctor if they were doing their job properly and there was proper oversight, accountability and scrutiny of our public money. Thanks for all the support with videos. Please press subscribe. Take care. See you all soon. So.